The subject today is blue jeans. And on my subject, my continued series on businesses, how they got their names, how they got their logos, their colors, etc. When you think blue jeans, what do you think first? What brand name comes to mind? There's only one, really, Levi's. Okay, so we're going to talk about Levi's today, about how they got that name and the little grid tag on behind in the back pocket, and maybe a little bit about the colors, a little bit of the history. How did the jeans come about, the blue jeans? I'm Edgar Montoya. Welcome to the Language Cafe. Once again, it's a bilingual channel, a little bit about everything, culture, politics, history, cuisine. I'm open to ideas too. Okay. Anyways, okay, let's start on talking about this subject here. Share my screen using Zoom. Okay, so first you want to go, who invented Levi's? Who's Levi? Okay, so Levi refers to a man named Levi Strauss. He was an immigrant from Germany. Let me show you his picture here. Okay, this right here, you could say, this man. I just want to see how my head would look on that old-fashioned suit. This is Levi Strauss here. Okay, some more pictures of him. Here's that famous brand. Okay, I mean, well, with the original brand, that famous tag that you see on the company. Okay, and while I'm on the subject here, what those horses referred to, the horses were shown pulling a pair of jeans to show the strength and the resilience of the material. Okay, and what happened back then, I'm going to get a little bit to while I'm on this, I'll talk about this first, but I'll tell you about the actual invention, the creation of blue jeans and how they came about. But on Levi Strauss, on this famous tag, to show the resilience, the strength of the blue jean, of the material. This material today, as most of you know, everybody knows, it's called denim, and I'm going to get down to how that name came about too. Okay, it's not an original English word. You'll find out. Okay, so this tag, and also back in those days when these jeans were first being sold, a lot of people were not English speakers in America, and they were not, or they were people who were illiterate. They couldn't always read, so they might not know. And they went to a store, the general store, the country store, to ask for a pair of Levi's. Strauss wanted them to remember, and he joined later on with a man named Jacob Davis. He formed the business together. So people would come into the store and they would just say, I want the jeans with the two horses. Okay, so he wanted to be memorable. So there came about this famous tag, right? This was the logo for a long time. They're still finding on Levi's jeans for Levi's. Okay, anyways, now I'm going to go to when did this start? It started about 1848. Some of you history buffs, so you know or you don't know, but let me teach you then. There was a California gold rush in 1849. Okay, here's some, that's what they called them back then, 49ers. Okay, not the football team. That's where the football team got their name, from these guys. From California gold rush. Okay, so Strauss came over from Germany, and he didn't go, like, people were coming from all over the world to California to try to make their fortune looking for gold. But not everybody who came here that year to California came with the intention of searching, of panning for gold. They came with they saw good business opportunities to try to sell things to these miners, among other things, food and materials that they would need. And Levi Strauss was one of them. Okay, he was in the textile business. So he was selling, back in that day, he was selling canvas. He came with the intention of selling canvas to these men for their tents and for their covered wagons. Okay. So then we go. So then he came over, and well, let me tell the history of a little bit about it. He came and he started selling his canvas for tents. And one day, the story is that these miners, there's another picture of them. One of them came up to him and complained that he couldn't find pants sturdy enough, strong enough for the work they were doing, on their knees and stretching and bending and, walking through rocks and crawling through rocks. He couldn't find pants strong enough. They didn't last long. So, according to legend, Strauss took a piece of his canvas and he stitched a pair of pants for the man. The man liked it. The miner liked it. And I guess he told his friends, and then Strauss stitched up a few more pants. And I guess after that, he was off to the races. Okay. So we go to, and then what happened after that? Let me show you another picture. Share some nice pictures with you. Nice in color. Man panning for gold. Okay, with their pants curled up and kind of shirts, um, whatever material back then. Cotton, they probably tore easily too. Had a rough life out there in the country, up there in the mountains, out there in Northern California, panning for gold. Well, eventually one day somebody complained about those pants, those gray. It was canvas back in those days. I'm getting ahead of myself first. Yeah, somebody did complain about them being hard, a little bit stiff. Okay, the material being stiff. So he sent away, Strauss did, for a material in Europe called serge denims. Okay, serge denims. And the miners, I guess for short, to make it memorable, decided to rename that material denim, short for denims. Okay, so then let me show you some nice photos here. Here they are still working those days. And then somebody eventually complained that those pants, those gray pants, like we've shown over here, some of these photos that were dark, were a little bit boring. Okay, so I guess when they went out dancing, whatever they did for fun, they wanted pants that looked a little more interesting, a little fun. That's a little nicer, a little more stylish. So Strauss decided to get an indigo blue dye and painted the jeans pants blue. Okay. Now, where did the word jeans come from? Well, the story is there that when he sent to Europe for this material, serge denims, the sailors who brought them were from Genoa, Italy. So maybe in honor of the sailors, Strauss or the miners themselves decided to call the pants for short jeans from the word Genoa. That's the story in my research that I found. I'm an English teacher, by the way. I've taught that story many times out of a book. And when we've, for reading comprehension on the story of Levi Strauss and jeans and how his jeans came about. Okay, anyways, from there, I would go to, let me show you some of the logos through the years. There's Levi Strauss again. And this famous Levi's brand from that, what they call it batwing cut, okay? And it's come from an arcade style, an arcade cut or an arcade stitching, okay? Now, where that come from, I'll explain that to you in a few minutes. But anyways, here they are, is the famous, from the back, this logo, or this, right? The actual brand Levi's here, the stitching, or this little tag is found in the back. You see on the back pocket, stitched to back pockets, right? And here through the years, here were some of the original brands from through the years, from about the time it was invented, the company came together. Symbol Levi Strauss and Company. Here is the two horses. And through the years, have they changed? Okay, so good solid Levi's, good solid word. Looks a very good bold name there, Levi's. And right, this is the first ones I remember from around 1969, how it first looked. These previous ones, I don't remember them. I'm not that old. From about 1969, I remember this, and then the darker red one today. Okay, this batwing tag, or an arquad, they call it arc from the style of. You will see. I will show you now. Before I go that, maybe a little more. Yeah, there it is. Big style, famous throughout the world. Right, you probably don't even need the word on it, Levi's. Okay, and the design was purposely, if you notice too, capital L, B, capital I, capital S, but E, make it small. For some reason, they said keep it small, and that's rather stylish for some reason with a lowercase e. And it's very memorable. Levi's. Here's again the tag in red, that famous two-horse tag. Some businessman from back in the day. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to go back and show you some of the, well, here is some pictures of jeans. Okay. And here they are, the back pocket with the tag. Okay. Well, by the way, he formed a Mr. Right, Mr. Levi Strauss formed a merger with a man named Jacob Davis. It was Mr. Davis's idea to install these copper rivets to different parts of the back, different parts along the side of the pants to strengthen the material, to strengthen the pants. And the arcuate stitching, so that style of the brand, the bat wing style, it comes from, for example, if we look at the back of these pants here, okay, you will see that bat wing, or we call it the arcuate stitching. From that style, from that comes the logo, Levi's. Okay, well, that's basically it. How it got its name from the man, of course, Levi Strauss. Got the style of the tag in the back pants, which is you won't see this bat wing, of course, on all of them. Some of them are just a plain rectangle. It's famously been a rectangle for, for most of history. But that bat wing stands out. It's specifically Levi's. It's a Levi's style. That stitching, the name Levi's, told you the history of how it got its name. Denim comes from Serge Denims. Blue jeans were not originally blue. Somebody complained about them being boring, so Mr. Strauss painted in blue. And blue jeans, what else can you say about them? Everyone wears them. They go and casually, people wear them at work. It's the most casual, most used, most popular pants for like well over 150 years now. Okay, there you go. Basic history, quick history on the blue jeans. Hope you liked it. Found this interesting. Found it some nice trivia. You picked up some learn, something to talk about at a party. Hope you like would subscribe to my channel. Maybe give me some likes, give me some comments. I'm open to in my business series now, how certain businesses, how they got their names, how they got their logos, their colors, how those things come about. Okay. Well, thanks for dropping by. I'm Edgar Montoya again for the Language Cafe. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope to see you again on another video. And bye for now. Bye.